All right, today a Q&A. I've had several questions that people have asked and I would like to answer them live. So, live recorded. But while we're on that topic, I would love for you to put in the comments, if I did a live Q&A or live shots on my YouTube where you can interact with me, ask questions about communities. Maybe some days we just discuss communities, specific ones. Would that be something that you would log in and join? I would love that feedback because that is something that I would definitely consider doing. Even thought about doing like happy hours on there where I've got attorney, I've got a lender, I've got people in the business, maybe home builders, superintendents, and we do it live and you can ask questions to them as well. So give me that feedback in the comments, you guys. I'd really appreciate that. I want to constantly be bringing you what you are wanting. So let me know that. And if this is your first time to the channel, my name is Kelley Norton and I'm a Valley native and I'm a real estate agent of over 24 years. I'm an associate broker here at eXp Realty. And I also own and run the Arizona Living Group. Now we're a team that help people relocate to or within the Phoenix and surrounding areas. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, feel free to reach out. We help people with both. So today I'm going to answer some questions. So we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at eXp Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate. First question is it windy? A lot of people say, Kelley, it looks like your hair is always blowing around when you're outside. Yes, and I also have this, it's Murphy's Law, right? Whenever we go out to film, there's a garbage truck coming by, the wind will pick up, it will decide to be one of the few days that it rains in Arizona, and that just happens, but we still roll with it, we still go. So Tammy and our hair could be all over the place, and you know what? We want to bring you the content, so as long as you can hear us talking, that's all we care about. So yes, the answer to that question is, yeah, there is some wind in some areas. It is even more prevalent. So when you have the mountain areas and, I would say that North Peoria area, there's a little bit of a breeze. Sun City Festival, a little bit of a breeze. Sometimes out in Cantamia and Estrella Mountain Ranch in Goodyear. Wickenburg Ranch, definitely you'll have a bit of a breeze because you're getting the wind that's coming off of those Bradshaw Mountains from Prescott. You're getting a little bit of a breeze coming out of there. And it's elevated, it's up higher, and it's just a tad cooler than it is in the Phoenix area as well. So some areas you are going to have a little bit more wind. There's some areas of the East Valley where you're going to have a little bit of a breeze as well when you get really further east and very far south. Now some of these areas too, like when you're out in Maricopa in that East Valley, you can get more dust storms. They kind of start in that Southeast Valley and then push their way north. So you can see those sometimes on the news starting to come across, and the wind will pick up the dust and blow that across. So answer to the question, yes, occasionally we do have a little bit of a breeze, but my clients that have come from parts of Colorado have said it's absolutely nothing like the wind that they've experienced there. So I think we're okay. It's just a little breeze, guys. So a lot of people have asked me, what is your favorite community? So let's go ahead and break it down from West Valley to East Valley. Now, it's hard for me because I have age-restricted communities that I love, and then I have all-age communities that I absolutely love. So it's a little bit difficult for me to narrow it down to one, but let me tell you some of my favorites and why they're my favorites. So in the West Valley, we'll start there first, age-restricted. I'm a hills and mountain girl. I absolutely love our desert. I love our mountains. And people think that Arizona is just a flat desert, and there are hills and mountains. We have more of those in the West Valley. So if you're looking for hiking, biking, mountain biking, all of that is really found a lot more in the West Valley, closer to where the homes are. You have them in the East Valley. There's Usury Pass, there's Superstition, there's the Santans. You have them, they're just further out. Where in the Phoenix area, you have all of the Phoenix Mountain Preserves. So you have Piestewa Peak, you have Camelback. So you have things right near homes. That's how it is in the West Valley. So in North Peoria, you have the West Wing area, which has mountains. And then in Verrado, you have mountains. In Estrella Mountain Ranch, you have mountains. One thing I want to mention to you, my favorite hill and mountain community, and this is why it's my favorite, because of the mountains, Wickenburg Ranch. But it isn't for everyone. It's quite far out and is partially age restricted. So you got some communities that have age restriction and then others that are all age. So that one, anyone can live there. They have little neighborhoods that if you want to be in 55 plus, then they have those little neighborhood collections there. And then for age restricted fully, I really love Victory because of the hills there too. And then one of my other favorites, again, I have so many favorites because they're all so different and they have unique things for them. I love Trilogy of Estancia because of how it's landscaped. There's no mountains right in the community, but the landscaping is stunning. And I love the water out at Estrella Mountain Ranch. But if I had to say a neighborhood for me that I absolutely love, if I did not need to be close into everything, my absolute favorite West Valley, it would be Wickenburg Ranch. I just think that the hills there, they do have water in the community. They have a bunch of different little areas to eat, and it is absolutely jaw-dropping gorgeous. But it is a haul to get to shopping and everything else. We have videos on all of that, but that would be my favorite. Now, let's talk about the East Valley. So I love Encanterra. Now this is out in the East Valley and it is all age, but it does have those 55 plus clusters in the community as well. And you have a couple different clubhouse areas and it's just a beautiful luxury community. All right, so one of my all-time favorites out in the East Valley is gonna be in Gilbert, and this is going to be Power Ranch. So Power Ranch is stunning, you guys. They have the lake, they have parks. This is beautiful community, and the location is quite stellar. So you have so much that has developed around Power Ranch, and I used to live right there. Again, if this is your first time to the channel, I've lived in 8 different cities in the valley as an adult, and I lived right down the street here from Power Ranch, had a lot of friends. My son had friends that were in Power Ranch, and it is a great community, and it's really easy to make friends, and you really have that sense of community. There's a lot of events that go on, and it's beautiful. You also don't have hiking too far. You still have to travel to Santan or go to Superstition or Usury. So you're looking at a little bit of a drive to get to the hiking, but there's so many walking trails in the community itself, and there's a variety of price point too. So stunning community, that would definitely be one of my favorites. All right, so next question. People ask me about taxes quite often. So when you're building a new home, this is where it gets a little bit confusing for people. The property hasn't been assessed yet. So the properties do get assessed, but your taxes are based on that assessed value, not what you bought it for. And when you first buy a home, it's being assessed off of the land itself. So at closing, they're going to collect an estimate from you. Now, most builders are quoting 0.65 to 1% that they want to collect and that you would pay for your insurance. Now, remember, when you actually get your tax bill, it is not based on your purchase price. It's based on that assessed value. And you can go online and look up the calculation of exactly how they do that, because that's a whole nother day and an entire video on itself. So just to let you know, your taxes are not based on purchase price in the state of Arizona. So a lot of people, they're used to that where they live, and that's a little bit different here. It's the assessed value. So another question that we've been getting is, can we get a new home without a homeowners association? So majority of new homes that are in a regular subdivision tract build, so builders like Fulton, Toll Brothers, David Weekley, Beazer, Richmond American, Taylor Morrison, Lennar, guys, all of these are in subdivisions. You're going to have an HOA. The new communities, they have homeowners associations. And as much as I know some people do not want to have the restrictions, there's a reason why they're there. They actually help the value of your property remain because they're keeping your neighbor from letting his house just turn into disarray and do nothing about it. You think about it, when you go to buy a house and you're looking at a home, if the neighbor's house looks like junk, you're gonna go, wow, that's going to bring down my value. You're right, it will. So it's very important to make sure that the whole neighborhood is being preserved. And if you don't have an HOA, you have a higher risk of it starting to look like junk. There are areas that have no HOA because you really started to see HOAs kind of come into play a lot more prevalent in the 90s here. So there are some older homes that don't have HOAs and some pocket communities that don't have homeowners associations that are in the 90s and 2000s. But all of your more recent homes, they're going to have them unless you have property that you built a custom home on, or there was a small little builder that just bought a couple lots and put a house on. So HOA, and then the next question you might have is, how much is an HOA? It varies. It depends what they have. If they have a pool, if they have a gate, if they have parks, pickleball, basketball, just depends on what they include. Some HOAs are as low as $30 a month. My HOA doesn't have a pool or anything like that. It has a couple parks and it has a gate, and mine's $105 a month. There are some walking trails and beautiful landscape within the community that's more preserved desert. But there's communities like Posada, that's $280 a month, which is a brand new community that has a community pool. It doesn't have a fitness center, but it has a pool. It's got pickleball, it's got basketball courts. So, you know, you can be in that anywhere from $30 up to $300 or $400. And then you get into the DC Ranch, Scottsdale area, and you're gonna go up even more. So hopefully that helps, but I would say if you don't have big bells and whistles in your community, plan on it being somewhere between $60 and $100 a month. So another question that I've been getting is, can I buy the lot in a community and then put my own home on it? So that's kind of a loaded question. So if it is a lot that is in a community that has been purchased and developed by a builder, then the answer is you can put a home on it, but you're gonna put that builder's home on it. So a lot of times people say, oh, well, they're selling the lot. Well, it's all part of their purchase, right? So you pick the floor plan that you like, and then you pick the lot that you like, and they'll build the floor plan on the lot. That's a full build. So you'll be able to pick everything, build the house, but sometimes they have spec homes where they've already picked everything for you, and so this is the lot you get with the house and all the finishes and colors. So those are two different things. And then if you want a piece of dirt to put any type of home you want on it, you're building custom. So that's a whole nother ball of wax, because getting financing on vacant land is a bit more challenging. I was gonna say a lot, but we'll say a bit, but it's challenging. So then you also have, you know, a totally different type of loan, a construction loan. There's different money that you have involved in it. And so you have to just talk to us about what it is that you're looking for. But the majority of people are purchasing homes in subdivisions where the builder is developing everything. The builder is doing all the phase 1 and 2 surveying ahead of time. And then when we go to purchase it, then they give you what's called a public report, which discloses things that they found in those surveys and inspections. So they let you know what kind of ground soil there was. And most of the time here, you're gonna see, with all the new homes with the builders, you're gonna see a post-tension slab, which is gonna take care of the expansive soil issue. Now, if you're hearing that word expansive soil for the first time, what that means is that when the ground gets wet here, it actually flexes and contracts. So it can cause some settling cracks. And what that slab does is that actually, if you picture like a grid of steel on top of it, it's gonna float as one instead of a normal slab that could actually kind of pivot a bit and crack. So I'm actually going to be doing a video on those slabs and how to protect your home from getting settling. So stay tuned for that as well. That's going to be an incredible video, and it's going to be super, super informative. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and click that bell. That way you are notified when we put up really great videos like that one. All right, so I'm realizing I probably need to do a phase 2 of this video because we have a lot of questions that people ask us, kind of common questions. And to keep the video from being like a 20 or 30 minute video, This will be the last question that I answer today, but I'll keep putting up these Q&A type videos. But again, let me know if you want it to be live. I would be happy to do that, and we can answer questions live on the channel as well. And if you wouldn't mind, if you are going to comment, will you also please let me know what time of day would work for you and what your time zone is, because I'd really like to kind of get a gauge of when people would watch that. So let me know. Now, last question here. How hot does it get in the summer? This is what I get often. And people also want to know, how cold does it get in the winter? Now, there are days where it is chilly in the winter, and it can be, a high in the 50s. I think occasionally there's highs where it's, in the 40s. But it's so rare, it's not that cold. It's cold for me because I'm from here. And you'll notice if you move from a cold climate, it's funny because my clients all, they're nervous at first for the summer, but then they're telling me after that first year, they're like, we get cold in the winter now, and we're cold in the air conditioning. We bring little sweaters everywhere. And that's how it is, right? It's very dry. There isn't any humidity. And I know that that's hard to imagine, and it's hard to picture 115 degrees. It doesn't last very long. We have, our summer is 3 months, but it's really, really, really hot of 4 to 8 weeks, and air conditioning everywhere. There's pools that people can use. A lot of the communities have community pools, but people are not outside when it's hot. The same as when you have 2 feet of snow outside, you're not hanging around outside. So you're inside, and you change your activities based on the weather, just like you do when it's snowy. So, but the great thing about Arizona is that people are still outside early in the morning. So people still hike early in the morning. So you can still be outside 365 days a year. You just go earlier in the day. And even in the evenings, it can still be kind of hot, but earlier in the morning is when it's the best time. And I would say July, August, that's the hottest time. We do get the monsoons that come in that are amazing, and I'll answer some questions about monsoons on the next one as well. So yeah, it gets hot. It doesn't last very long. The rest of the year, absolutely amazing, but people still do things early in the day or late in the evening. They'll walk their dogs early, and you can get little booties for your dogs. But we don't recommend being out there, after 8:30 or 9 in the morning, because it does start to get hot, and the concrete gets hot too for the pups' paws. So anyway, guys, I hope that you found this useful. Again, my name is Kelley Norton. I'm an associate broker here at eXp Realty, lived in 8 different cities here in the Valley, and we help people that relocate to or within the Phoenix and surrounding area. I hope to hear from you soon. Go on the website, ArizonaLivingGroup.com, hit contact us, and you can also call or text me. It's the best way to reach us as well, and I look forward to speaking to you. Thank you so much, guys. And remember, if you're gonna look at a new build, you need to let us know ahead of time. We need to be with you on that first visit. We get calls every week where somebody's like, hey, we went in, but we don't want to move forward without having our own representation. We have to be with you on your first visit. So still reach out if you've made that mistake, and we'll see what we can do. A lot of the builders know us and love us here, but guys, it's a lot easier if we just set an appointment, we go in with you. And it also saves your time too, because otherwise you're going into these different builders and you're telling your story to every single one. They're wanting to show you every single floor plan, every single lot, and we do that legwork for you. Plus you'll have your own representation because the agents inside the models represent the builder, not you. All right, thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.